So I'm here at the Cinco Tinajas trailhead deep in Big Bend Ranch State Park. And so I'm gonna go up here and check out the overlook and then drop down into the Cinco Tinajas. This should be a pretty sweet little narrow, almost like a slot canyon down here. Really look forward to seeing it, finally. So just a short distance up the trail, maybe a quarter mile or so. It's a trail that splits off to the right and takes you up to see the overlook. So of course, I gotta go check that out. Look down into this narrow little canyon. So definitely most of the surface here is covered with volcanic rocks, and really almost the entire park is covered with it. There's, I would say, 75% or roughly. So this is definitely a very narrow, deep little canyon. Wow, look down there. Wow. So that's where I'm heading here in just a few minutes. Yeah, I mean, this is essentially like a slot canyon. So if you stay on the main trail, it descends down that hill right there to the creek bed, and then heads up the creek bed into the Narrows. Now I'm back on the main trail, descending down to the bottom of the valley here. I do want to point one thing out. If you thought Big Bend National Park was in the middle of nowhere, you haven't been here yet. And especially when you're coming from the east, it takes a little more determination to get all the way over here, because you have to enter from the west side. I think, you know, the majority of people that visit Big Bend Ranch State Park, you know, drive the river road west of Lajitas. And there's definitely a lot of cool things to see along the way there. Like Closed Canyon, kayaking the Rio Grande, and other cool little spots along the way there. But, you know, there are great treasures deep in the interior of this park. And it's a long way down a gravel road to get back in here. But I highly recommend it. You know, there's vast brown desert areas here, but nestled within that are these really sweet little pockets, you know, various canyons and oasis, you know. And you have, you know, to get to some of these you need a four-wheel drive truck, or at least a high clearance vehicle. But this is a park that, if you like the outdoors, if you like hiking, if you like nature, if you like rugged mountain desert scenery, this is a park you should get out to see. And it's the most remote state park in Texas, and also the largest, and probably the best place to see stars in the entire state. I mean, there is almost zero light pollution here. This little stack of rocks will sure be handy on the way back, because I'm going to be walking the stream bed the rest of the way, so it might not be super obvious. Wow, that is impressive. What a sight to behold. Definitely some powerful forces at work here. Wow, it is cool down here too. Great place to take a break if it happens to be hot. Isn't this just gorgeous? So you know I gotta find a way to get up there, right? See what's on the other side. So let's try this. Probably should have my head mount on for this, but I like the handheld. Okay, all right. I'm gonna focus on climbing for a second. Be right back. Okay, so I made it up the first little obstacle here. Oh man, that is so cool. This may actually be better than Closed Canyon, which is also in the park. Oh, what a great place to explore. Oh my God, just love it. Nature's playground, folks. Okay, so let's continue on a little further. Let's see what we discover ahead. Gorgeous pools of water back here. So the more adventurous of you may try to continue in that direction, but I think that just might do it for me. So even though I've opted not to continue further in that direction, I did climb up a little, just so maybe you could get a look a little further up this narrow canyon. Those pools are critical resources out here in this vast desert. Look at that bird. Found a place to quench his thirst.